and it's so how to self-regulate in these times. So you mentioned meditation, you mentioned breath work. Uh,
So it, yeah.
anything else that comes to mind that helps you self-regulate and those around you, maybe your family or your friends, that kind of thing? That'd be great.
So when it comes to the little ones, to the kids, we just want to, first of all, I'm talking about the kids because they don't need to be exposed to all of it. So it depends on their age, obviously. The older they are, they become teenage and that they probably, if they want to be involved, it's their choices and it's okay. But as first of all, as parents, we want to then again take care of ourselves and make sure that we are regulated and we're calm. And the moment we are calm and regulated, despite what's happening outside, the kids will be okay. The kids will do them, and that's what we want to do. We want to let them being them, regardless what the situation is. So we as parents, first of all, wants to take care of ourselves and make sure that we are regulated. Our kids are less interested, if any at all, on what's happening outside. But with the moment they see us not well, that moment they stop living. They start worrying themselves just by proxy of us not being well. So the most important thing is for us to stay together with the people that are actually supporting us and be kind to us. So at those times, you want to reach out as much as you can. And I'm not talking about frenzy, talking about politics, but just to say, kind of, this is how we feel, but we have each other. We have each other. And being together in times when it feels so scary is so important. Because once we feel the support from even a few others that share the same thing, and we can talk about it, and we can actually express ourselves, and being together with that, immediately it immediately feels safer.
Mhm.
The second thing is to, and that's something that many people have hard time to do, but actually to limit as much as you can the exposure to social media and news, unless you really, and I'm not talking about disconnect. I'm talking about being informed, and being informed with resources that you checked, that you're interested, that are reliable, because there's so much information out there, and people are jumping. Rob, the first thing that I see when I see an article, when I click on an article, I want to see who wrote that.
Yeah.
Who is the person that wrote that? And it doesn't have to do anything with also politics. Sometimes it is, but sometimes it's just like, who wrote this article that I'm reading right now? There are very few that I would say like, I want to read this person.
Mm.
I don't know anything about that, and it's okay that everybody has opinions, but a lot of people feel that they have the answers to something that they don't, and other people feed from that because they relate to what they think. And before you even know, you were just developing so many bubbles that are not realistic, or even if they're realistic, we're just getting us very scared. So first of all, just kind of limit the amount of exposure to the things that get you just scared. And if you know that the news or that chat or that domain or whatever it is are going to increase your that, just you can decide to not do that. You can decide to check the news twice a day just to be informed, or to read articles, or to be with things that are actually interesting to you, but just limit it. Just as much as you want to limit the time of your kids with the video games, right? It's okay to play, and it's wonderful and it's interesting. It could be even educational, but you don't want your kids on the seat all day long. So you want to cap it. It's the same thing what I'm advising people, advising my clients, advising everyone. It's just like, live your life. Really, live your life. Live your life the way you lived before, and just try to, as much as you can, kind of like say yourself, there is so much that I want to take in. I can be informed about that, but I want to actually, especially in this time, to continue my life and my routine the way I used to, and even increase that kind of a little bit of that bubble. Then again, not that I want to create bubbles, but I want to first of all create a bubble of well-being when we feel safe. And if we feel safe in the environment that we are, that's what really matters right now more than anything else, while leaving room to affect and influence as much as we can for a better world. But then again, when moment you feel a kind of like that you that it's just too much, and it is too much so many times without us even understanding that, because we're constantly on the internet, we're
Hmm.
constantly from the feed news, and that is creating the frenzy. So really,
Yeah.
it's as simple as that. Is just first of all say to yourself, okay, I got it. It's not safe. I don't know if that, so you can check the news, you can be with that for a certain amount, But then again, go back to the life that you had, with hopefully with a lot of love and connections. And you can also talk about what you feel. Then again, just like anything else, with people that are open to hear about that and how what your concerns are without trying to correct you or do this or do that. Just being with those feelings and being together with it. So we're going from try to do something about, which I'm not saying that we shouldn't do and people should not influence, but we're going from the helplessness of, oh my God, this is like, it's horrible and there's nothing I can do, and just try to constantly helplessly talk about that and just try to change and get into more helplessness, is to get away from that and go inside to, okay, I don't feel safe. What do I need to do in order to be safe? So, first of all, eliminate as much as you can that feed of constant anxiety and constant information that just get you more scared without really actually helping you in the day by day. The second thing is just a lot of kind of searching inside for that inner peace, you know, because we can find it. We can find the inner peace inside. What's happening inside is affecting us from the past experiences that come to the present because of that. Let's say that you had a trauma, an early trauma of not being safe in your own family, and you have the unsafe externally right now. Those are both coming right now to a halt inside, just to just render you just incapacitated and screaming to help. So the more important is to go actually inside to try to find the times that you were not really safe and say like, I'm right now having myself, I'm an adult. I'm going to be there for my own kid right now. You're okay right now. And so many times, Rob, I have that in sessions when I see people and see clients, and they're just right now, let's say in the session, are so dysregulated and in so much fear of what's going to happen. And they just try to get me to look at me to click a button and just quiet that down. And I understand they don't feel good. And the only thing that I can tell them right now, it is safe right now within this hour. Well, let's be together with that. I got you. I got you. I'm holding you with me. Let's just rest together right now.
And that's being more in the moment.
And that being more in the moment together, because that's all we have.
Yeah.
So when you think about it, all the things that we're talking about not safe are things that if we didn't know about it right now, we were disconnected right now from the world, let's say, we wouldn't know that. We will be okay. We would wake up in the morning to the same way. So as long as it is right now, you're speaking of me, you send your children to school, whatever it is you do, you as much as you can. And I know it's the situation is affect us, but mostly we can function probably the way we did before. As long as you don't need to take a real action. Let's say you got fired from your job, you need to start finding a job. That's a reaction to something that actually happened. You can even plan to something. Let's say that your work is not really safe and you don't know, you can start looking, but not too much because you still have a job. So concentrate on what you have right now and stay in the here and now. And the here and now is okay right now, and if it's not okay, then you'll take an action
Mm-hmm.
rather than
Mm-hmm.
constantly living in the future, and the future right now is so uncertain. So if we live right now in the future, we're just inherently feeling more anxiety and more helplessness. So in these times, especially in these times, I kind of teach and preach also to stay always to stay in the present, in the here and now anyway. But especially when times are uncertain, that's where you want to go to yourself, and you want to go to the here and now and find regulation and find comfort inside. Because the outside is outside. And by the way, if you look at the outside, some people are actually completely okay. I have clients that are not even talking about that everything is okay. They're just so concentrating in their own life, they don't even worry right now about what's happening outside.
They don't
And
have
some people,
room.
sorry, I'm
They
sorry,
don't have room. They don't
they
have
don't
room
have
to
room
think
for that.
about it. Yeah.
They'll,
Yeah.
but what I'm trying to illustrate is that they have
Mhm.
their own problems anyway,
Yeah.
regardless of what's happening outside. While you see others that just basically stopped actually living because they're just so incapacitated because of what's happening outside. And it's
Yeah.
all the way we interpret reality and what's the makeup inside that can do with this information. So the bottom line in terms of that, the more we're going to the present moment and stay with right now what it is, you know, and regulate ourselves, which we can. Nobody can tell us not to. Nobody have any power of us how we're dealing with things. Then the situation outside is sometimes good, sometimes bad, sometimes it's whatever it is, but you stay steady inside. Now that doesn't mean that it's not affecting you, but it's affecting you in a way that you feel still in control and you're grounded. And at that point, when you feel more grounded, you can be for others who are not.